Fox Carolina, the Midday News.
Welcome back to the Midday News on Fox Carolina. I'm Haley Spittler, joined by Elysian founder Karen Floyd. And Karen, you're about to head to New York for a Fashion Week event that's going to be the first of its kind. But before we talk about that, let's talk a little bit about Elysian. Tell me about this brand you've created.
Sure. So Elysian is a luxury magazine, but it's really an ecosystem for women over the age of 40. And it's a white space. It's something that was conceived 10 years ago. We were in our 8th year, but now it's completely digitized as well. So we'll always have a print magazine, but the digital, the app in particular, will really play a role at Catwalk for a Baby when we launch in New York City this Friday.
So when you created Elysian, tell me, what was your goal? What was your mission?
Sure. So if you think about it, if someone asks you, Haley, like, what are the magazines that are really directed at women in their 40s and beyond that are interested in adventure and lifelong learning and health and wellness and arts and culture? There really aren't any. And so this idea that started as a granule really has grown across the world. We have distribution literally everywhere. And it's evidenced in Catwalk Fur Baby because we have 10 rescues from California to Florida to Texas to Nashville to Ohio, New York City. There's even one called Global Strays, which is in Ecuador. And all of these have come together with these inspiring women that have been featured, that chose a rescue, chose a model, chose a designer, and they'll be walking the runway. And so there are a group of celebrity judges that will be judging the show, but also a people's choice. And that's really why I came today. Thank you very much for having us. It's important for everyone to know that they can vote wherever they are across the United States, and there are 2 options in the state of South Carolina. Animal Allies of Barnwell County, and then there's another charity in Camden, South Carolina as well. And finally, I'll say this, Spartanburg, South Carolina will have a big presence. There are 5 dogs and cats that have made the run and will actually be carried with models or walk the runway, including a Great Pyrenees named Daisy, from the Gallaghers in Spartanburg. So they auditioned and they were chosen, and this is going to be quite a show for Spartanburg and really the upstate of South Carolina, really the state in its entirety.
Yeah, it's so cool. You guys are based in Spartanburg, so a little piece of Spartanburg is a part of New York Fashion Week. You talked a little bit about how we can vote for the animals. What will they get, the people who get the most votes?
So there is a $200,000 kitty that goes back to the rescues that win. And so the top model, the top designer, the real creations themselves. So imagine, if you would, a woman from, let's say, Napa Valley, Jan Zakin. She picks a charity. She picks an incredible designer, and these designers are Nicole Miller, Mark Bauer, really some incredible names, Anne Fontaine, from all over the world. There's a designer from Monaco and a designer from Turkey, Istanbul to be exact, and they're all competing to show the world that these animals, post-COVID in particular, really need adoption and a forever home.
And it's so fitting that you're going to New York, because I was just saying, this is Ebony, who's one of the Real Housewives of New York.
She and I have to tell you, the woman, the most well-recognized supermodel in the world, Carol Alt, is one of our judges.
Oh, how cool. Such big names that you keep dropping. It's
big
so
names
exciting.
and such fun. Yeah, and we're hopeful that everyone in South Carolina will take an interest in this and understand that at the end of the day, it really is about helping these pet charities.
Oh, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Karen.
Thank you.
And again, the inaugural Catwalk Fur Baby fashion show is taking place this Friday in New York. And if you can't make the trip, you can vote in their app, so make sure and give that a download.